Terrorist spying. U.S. senators seek re-designation of Nigeria as country of particular concern. A group of Republican senators has written to the United States Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, urging him to consider redesignating Nigeria as a country of particular concern (CPC) under the International Religious Freedom Act (IRFA), citing what they describe as continued unchecked acts of violence and terrorism against religious minorities in the country. The lawmakers are alleging that the Christians are being subjected to massive violence in Nigeria. The letter was signed by Senator Ted Budd, Josh Hawley, Pete Ricketts, Ted Cruz, and James Lankford. In their letter, the senators stated, "We write to urge you to consider designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. CPC, pursuant to International Religious Freedom Act (IRFA), to give the President additional authority to take specific actions to address the continued unchecked acts of violence and terrorism against religious minorities perpetrated by non-state actors in Nigeria." The lawmaker recalled that, as you know, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo designated Nigeria as a CPC in December 2020 for the ongoing and egregious violation of religious freedom perpetrated within its borders, particularly by non-state actors such as Boko Haram and other terrorist groups. They also noted that while Secretary of State Anthony Blinken removed Nigeria from the CPC list in 2021, on March 25, 2025, the United States Commission of International Religious Freedom, USCIRF, recommended that Nigeria be placed once again on the CPC list. It's good though. Citing several incidents of violence and terrorism against religious minorities. The senators referenced several deadly incidents in Nigeria, including mass spying and kidnappings targeting Christians. In May 2024, Al-Qaeda-affiliated Ansaru gunmen reportedly kidnapped 160 mainly Christian children and spied 8 people in Niger State, but later released the abducted children. In Niger State, suspected bandits spied 10 farmers, including Christians, and in August, bandits reportedly spied 70 Christians and kidnapped 20 students in separate attacks in Benue State. And yet the president was saying, no, the terrorist attack was not just on Christians. It's majorly on Christians. It's Christians that they are taking their lives the most. They'll say, no, it's not just Christians. Or they would even deny that there is anything like that going on. They added, most recently in late June 2025, reports suggest that at least 200 Christians in Nigeria were brutally spied by terrorists in Benue State. Yes. This same report suggests that Nigeria is one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian, citing 3,100 of the 4,476 Christians spied during their reporting period lived in Nigeria. It's the truth. The senator further referenced actions taken by former U.S. President Donald Trump to promote religious freedom, including an executive order establishing the Religious Liberty Commission. As you know, on May 1, 2025, President Trump issued an executive order to establish the Religious Liberty Commission, with the intent for this commission to vigorously enforce the historic and robust protections for religious liberty enshrined in federal law, and to work with the White House Faith Office to partner with the Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom to further the cause of religious liberty around the world. They also recalled Trump's 2019 global appeal at the United Nations on September 23, 2019. President Trump issued a global call to condemn religious persecution and defend the freedom of all believers, stating that, "Today, with one clear voice, the United States of America calls upon the nation of the world to end religious persecution, to stop crimes against people of faith, release prisoners of conscience, repeal laws restricting freedom of religion and belief. America stands with believers in every country who ask only for the freedom to live according to the faith that is within their own hearts." Concluding their letters, the senators expressed gratitude for Trump's role in advancing religious liberty and urged Secretary Rubio to act decisively. "We are grateful for President Trump and your work to champion our founding freedoms at home, as well as to condemn religious persecution around the world. We hope you will carefully consider designating Nigeria as a country of Particular Concern (CPC). I hope so. Pursuant of the International Religious Freedom Act (IRFA), we look forward to hearing from you. Previously, Sahara Reporters reported that the United States expressed deep concern over persistent violence against Christians and other vulnerable groups in Nigeria, warning that the government in Abuja must take stronger action to protect its citizens from terrorist attack. This comes after American comedian Bill Maher drew attention to the rising number of Christians by extremist groups such as Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa. In a statement to Newsweek, the U.S. State Department confirmed it has repeatedly raised the issue with the Nigerian government at the highest level. The United States remains deeply concerned about the level of violence against Christians and members of other groups in Nigeria, including the threats posed by terrorist groups like Boko Haram, ISIS West Africa in northern Nigeria. We have raised these issues with the Nigerian government at the highest level, the government said. The department stressed that Nigerians must act more decisively to halt repeated attacks on religious communities, insisting that its laws must align with commitment to religious freedom. International advocacy group Open Doors rank Nigeria as the 7th most dangerous place in the world. Imagine, 7th most dangerous place in the world for Christians, noting that more Christians are fighting for their faith in Nigeria than in the rest of the world combined. The Nigerian government has dismissed reports, and before God did, they will dismiss it now, suggesting that the terrorists in Nigeria are carrying out a systemic genocide against Christians, describing such claims as false, baseless, despicable, and divisive. How is it divisive? That is the truth for everybody to even see. It's so glaring. So what I'm saying is despicable and divisive. That's the truth. That's the truth. Louis also says, in as much as I see it as a welcome development, however, Nigeria can never be divided. Never say never. Louis, never say never. If I'm innocent says it's an indicator that it's not safe for foreign investors. Do you get? How would I come into a country where they can just go and buy a Christian anyhow? They will not be safe. They will not come. They won't come. Stephen Akafo says, if you have lived in northern Nigeria, you totally agree on this call. Yes, now. A lot of Christians, their life are taken away. Even some that we might not even know, that will not make it to the internet. Just because you are a Christian. It is well. Prince Will says, two-state solution is the best. Mazi Anoka says, Nigeria will be listed among major Islamic group very soon. God help us. My listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.